Next up, let's dimension our building. So how you dimension this building is very simple. There is, under document, there is a dimension tool here. So you can click on this and click between 2 points and just right click and say OK, and then it will create a dimension. Very simple. You can create, so let's say you want to create automatic dimensioning on all 4 sides. That's also possible. So you simply go to design, wall, Control A, and under documents, documenting tools, let's see, annotation, automatic dimensioning, exterior dimensioning. So you don't have to change anything here. Make sure everything is turned on here and place dimensions on all the 4 sides, and you can give a distance between the dimensions. Next up, you just need to select the direction. So how you want the direction of dimension. Obviously, this being straight here, you want it to be straight, not diagonal, but you can do that also. You just have to define your 2 points, like first point is going to be here, second point is going to be here. If I define that line, all dimensions are going to be diagonal. In this case, I'm going to define this point and this point, but better than that is just to click on an edge like this. If I click on an edge here, it will automatically take that as a dimension and place the first dimension line. So I want to place the dimensional line somewhere here, and see, you've got all the detailed dimensions like how you would have in working drawings and stuff. And I can't quite show you how this dimension are actually associated because we don't have any windows here, but yes, I can show it for the door. If, let's say for example, if the door width of this is changed to 1500, just notice how the dimension also has changed. Right, so likewise, if you have windows, if you move the walls inside, this would automatically change. So this is a good way to quickly dimension the building. And if you want to individually dimension the lengths, then you go under document dimension tool and then click between 2 points, right click, say OK, and show the dimensions. So that's about dimensions. Next up, what I need to show you are this, explain you are these 4 tabs: project map, view map, layout book, and publishing sets. This is a very simple and easy to understand actually. As I've told you earlier, in project map everything is 3D interface except for worksheets. All these 3 components, ground floor, sections, elevation, these are 3D interfaces, whereas worksheets, details, these are 2D interfaces. 3D again is a 3D interface. 3D is a tab under which all of your cameras reside. Schedules is basically all the schedules of doors and window sizes and all that, which we are not going into now. And so okay, so most of this project map is 3D interfaces. View map, essentially everything is 2-dimensional. Okay, it's a 2D interface. They're just like JPEG images saved, the saved versions of these views. So if you have this view is this large and has got this scale and has got so many layers shown on it. All the settings will be saved under view maps. Okay. You can see your plans, you can see your sections, elevations, you can save even 3D. The 3D also will be saved as 2D images. Layouts are essentially like paper space in Archicad, where you have a large paper size and you need to compose a drawing inside of it. So if you double click on this, it's a large paper and it will have a drawing on top of it, and you can resize the drawing inside of this. and you can put more than one drawing. You can put section here, elevation here, 3D views here, and you can compose all of it on a paper. So that's about layouts. And publishing is where finally you publish this paper that you have, you publish it, you print it, either send it for printing or you save it as a PDF or an AutoCAD file so that you can take it to AutoCAD and further work on it. You can save it as a JPEG and all of this. So what I can do is I can quickly show you how this works. Okay, so let's say I don't want dimensions to be saved in this plan. I don't want furniture as well, so I'll create a layer called as dimension. And I'll put it off, right? Put the furniture also off, and everything else, since we don't have plumbing, electrical, if they were there, that also would be put off. And I will save this as structure, so it just shows me the structure, the walls and columns and all that. It doesn't show me any furnitures and stuff like that, right? And we need to actually put this dimension in the dimension layer. So we click on dimension, Control A, put this under dimension, so those also goes off, and this is what I want to save now. Okay, so I want to make custom saves so that I can quickly get back to this view whenever I want it. Okay, so this is what I want to save, and of course I want to save the labels as well. So Control L, and I want to put my zones on. Maybe if you don't want to put the zones on because of the colors, you can actually put your text inside of this. Where is this gone? So you can say living room. You can put separate texts also on this. Wash, store, wash, and you might want to create another layer called as labels or text, and put that one on and save it under structure. So you need to update this and put this under the text layer, labels layer. So we need to save this combinations, fine. And so we come to views, and these are created default by, so I'm going to hide all these things. In fact, I can delete it all. Actually, I can delete it all like this. Don't want them, so just delete them all, and create a new layer called final set or something, and under this then I can create new layer called as ground floor floors, sections, elevations. So this section has to be out, okay, and maybe 3D. Okay, so I've created these, and now I'm going to floors, and I'm just going to save this view. I want walls to be solid dark. That can also be changed. Just change this to simplified plan, so everything changes to pitch black, and you can save this now. So save current view. You just have to change this custom to give it a name, like custom name. Don't change anything else. Depends what scale do you want the drawing at. So you want to have the drawing at 100 scale, 200 scale, you can change it here. Layer combinations, if you remember, where created structures. If I change this to plumbing, if I want to see all the plumbing, I'll put this one on. So this is a quick way of changing your layer combinations. These are the settings which you can change with each of these preset views that you're going to save under view map. Don't bother about this at the moment. Graphic override, if you remember, I changed it here, but without changing it here, I can change it here. I can leave this as no override here, so that I'm able to see the actual colors and see stuff, and then I just change it over here. Dimensioning, if you remember, this was in meters, but in case if you want to change it to look like millimeters, you can change it to millimeters here. Okay, but since we have put off the dimension layer, we'll go with this, and we'll not touch 3D for this because this is a 2D plan that we are going to render. So say create. So I have created this, and just want to show you, if I go back to my project map and I want to continue working from here, when I want to continue working from here, I don't want to have this view, I want to have this view, and I want to see all of my layers on, let's say, including dimensioning was not updated, so we put dimensioning on also, and then we update this all layers on here and all the dimensions. This is what I want at all times when I'm working. But I want to quickly see how my structure looks. I just go here and just click on ground floor, and everything else goes off except for what I want to be seen in this, how I want to be seen things. So this is custom presets which are saved along with this, and these are 2-dimensional, these are not 3-dimensional interfaces. So likewise, if you want to see a dimension plan, for example, so I can go for dimensions and furniture maybe. So then I can go to ground floor, can just change this back to this, and I want to see all layers on, and I want to save this at 1:50 scale. Let's say I want to doing a working drawing of this, and I want all the layers on. So go to flows again, save all layers on off here. So what I want to show you is I can very well be only on furniture layout here, but when I create a save current view, I can change this back to all layers on here. I can change the override to a simplified override. I can change the scale to 1:50, right? I can change this thing in millimeters, and then create a view. So if you can see, the dimensions have been changed to millimeters, and everything is saved as it is, and the ground floor. So it's a quick toggle now. I want to toggle between this and this. See, right? Likewise, I can do the elevations. We've not drawn any sections as that, so I can draw a few section lines. Go to documents, section tool, just draw a section, first point, second point, the direction where the section needs to look at. It's this way, and then the project map, we will have a section. So, and you want everything to be hatched. Let's say while you're working, you want all the colors to be shown like this, but when you're looking at it, you want save current view, we want to see it as a simplified plan. You want all layers on, of course, and let's not change much of the things. We'll just change the way things look, appear, and the scale maybe 100. That's about it. Create. So when you create, it will be created like this, whereas when you work, you can revert back to how you want it. So this is a saved view. Likewise, I can have elevations. We have 4 elevation markers here, so let's look at these elevations from different sides. So there are east elevation, north, south, and I don't want to save this. I'm pretty happy with how they are. I just want to use them as it is. So I can simply copy this and paste it into this by simply going to project, show organizer, and this on this side I'm going to use view map, this side I'm going to use project map. I'm going to come to my elevations under view map is the second tab, and I'm going to click on all the elevations on this side. I'm just simply going to copy it into the elevations folder here, right? In 3D folder, for example, I require maybe just 2 cameras of internal. I'm not able to copy these. It doesn't allow me to copy. Fine. So organizer is a nice way to copy between things, you know, like from one tab to other tab to other, and essentially this is what we'll be doing in the next couple of minutes. We'll be shifting things from one tab to other, so that finally it starts to reside on layout, and then from layout to publisher we are going to copy things so that we're able to publish it finally. So far so good. We're in the view map and we have created 2 views, the ground floor, and we might want to create one first floor story view. And the first story view, I want to save it as it is, maybe just with the override. So go to floors, save current view, custom first floor we can write, and I want to change the override to simplified view and change it to 100 scale, all layers on. Maybe I just want to choose just to furnish structure, create just the structure, so all the roof hatching and all has gone. So we have a section, and like to create one more section, maybe on the ground floor, create a section line. So we have 2 sections, and I can copy the other section as it is. Going to show organizer, so come to section and just copy this section inside of this, and we have it copied here. So we have 2 sections, 1 and 2, right? We have ground floor, we have, so we can rename this, go into settings, ground floor, all layers on. Okay, so we have moved things from this to this essentially so that we are able to then finally move things from this to this, because layout book, where it's a paper, if you remember what I showed you, in order for me to place things inside of this has to be 2-dimensional entities. So essentially 2-dimensional entities are all in the view maps. So we are going to put all of this under this, but before that I want to show you how these elevations are seen. I don't know. Okay, we need to do some changes for elevations. So what we might need to do is select all the elevations like this, go to settings, and under model display I want to put the vectorial 3D hatching on, and I have to put sun shadows on so that all the sun shadows are shown. And vectorial hatching refers to if you have bricks and all that, all the textures of the material would be seen. And then see all the shadows, and if there are any textures, brick textures, in this case the roof textures are shown, and those would be same here as well because we copied the same files to view map, right? So now layouts, first and foremost I need to delete all these things because it's a clutter and you won't understand what I'm doing. So just delete all of this. Should contain at least one layout, so we'll delete all these things. Alright, so now essentially there are master layers and there are this. So in master layers you have some paper sizes that are defined. So if I click on A4, it's got the label, it's got the size of a paper, and they can put the drawings here. It's A3, these are presets. Now I can create my own master layers. you can create it from this. For example, I can create a A3 paper without the label. Then I will just have to clone this. So let's see where the option for cloning is. If I just click and okay, so I just click, drag and hold Control, it will create a copy, and I can rename this no labels, and double click on this, and then I want to delete this, so I need to delete all of this like that. So there are no labels, there are labels inside this, there are no labels inside this. So what we need to now create is under house, new layout. We need to create a new layout. Okay. So new subset. Okay, let's create a new subset called final project set, and under this we'll create a new layout. So layout final, say, and this is the layout. By default it attaches one of those masters to this. Now this one has been attached by one of these, not this. So we'll apply A3 landscape which we created onto this by just simply clicking and dragging it onto it, and the size would have changed, the labels would have gone. So the layout is there, it's a matter of just copying things onto this now. So what we do is we go to organizer, and under organizer on this tab we go to layout, this tab we go to view map, and we simply go to ground floor, first floor. We just select which the ones. You might have many preset views saved under view map, but you may not want to publish all or put them on layer. Sometimes you want putting it so that you can quickly toggle between these layers so that things change in the working interface, right? So if you remember ground floor plan, what we had done didn't have any of was only a structural plan, didn't have furniture's dimensions. So all layers on has got everything on. So this layer, this view map was created essentially so that I can toggle between different layers quickly and create a working environment as per my needs. So but I want to just copy these two, so I just have to click and drag it under this layout like so. It will go and reside under this. Then I can click on maybe I just want two elevations, north and east. So I don't want all, maybe just want two. So hold Control and select both. Just click and drag. What's happening? Click and okay, need to click on the icon. Click and drag onto this, and maybe I want two sections, maybe just one section. Click and drag onto this. So now if I close this and go under my layout, under layout a lot of this drawings are already populated inside this, but the paper size is less. So we might want to change the A3 landscape paper size. Go to settings and change it to an A1 and call this as an A1 landscape. So it's become much bigger, and don't want this rectangle, so we go to into masters and delete this. Come back to layouts, it's gone, and then we can just simply move these layers on. And you need to click on the handles and increase its size by using offset. You can reduce the size on this side, right? Move it on the sides. So likewise you can just move things and compose them. You don't want all this extra area, so you can just crop it like this and move the drawing onto the canvas. There are two more. move them like that. And then we have everything placed, and one last thing we might want to place is a 3D view. So what I want to do is create a 3D view, preset a saved image of the 3D view also. So I'll go to camera 1 and save this under 3D, save current view, and just go to 3D only and make sure you choose only 3D window here and not photo rendering, because photo rendering will actually render it every time you access this saved view here. Then save it as a white model with shadows, anything. So I want to save it with white model with shadows here, and rendering scene. You can select the custom presets also for saving it, but we are not rendering it here, so we need not change it here because we're not rendering we're not using a photo rendering thing here, so we can leave this as it is. So and then just create a front view or some front 3D view, you can say, and just hit create. It's created one, right? And I would like to copy that in the layouts as well. So we go to this and we just simply drag it onto this, and under layout the 3D view also appears, so then we can reduce it, and we might want to reduce the scale of this a little bit. So then we go to view map, click on this, go to settings, and then under scale, if you can change it to 200 scale, it's updating it. Don't know if views can be scaled down. It has not quite scaled it down, but we'll go by this. So we have composed a layout. Now it's a matter of just printing this, right? So what we need to do is go to organizer again. We need to go to organizer again and go to layout tabs on this side and publisher tab on this side, and click on this little arrow here so that we come out of everything. There are two custom publisher sets, these are called, means under each you have some layouts saved, but we don't want those. We want to create a new publisher set. Final project set, and under this you double click so that you are inside the container, and then you just have to click and drag this layout inside of this. That's it. Once that is done, then you can simply click on this and actually publish it right from here. You can do it as a DWG, PMP, JPEG, DWF, whichever format. Convert it to an image file also, TIFF, PNG. But you can do this options here as well, so I won't do it here. You can do it here as well, no problem. So essentially the function of organizer is to move things around, so we use only for that. If you go to publisher set now, if you go back, we have final project set. So you have to make sure you are inside the container. You have to make sure to select, you have selected the layouts, and then under properties don't change anything. Formats is something you need to change to PDF or DWG or, so I'll convert it to a DWG and I just hit publish. That's it, and this drawing will be converted into an AutoCAD paper space. Say publish. Right when you publish it first time, it will take you to publisher set properties, where you have to give it a path where you want to publish it. So I'll go to documents, create a house folder, and this doesn't really matter, so you leave it to default and just hit OK. Fine, and just say publish. That's it. Make sure this is selected and just say publish. show you one window and it will convert it into an AutoCAD file. Yes, and you can convert it into a PDF as well. So I'll create one more copy of this as a PDF, publish, and we will now go and have a look at those files which are under house. If you can see, there is a AutoCAD file that's created, there's a PDF file that's created. I'll open a PDF file, it will be faster to open, just to show you what it has created. So there you have it. So PDF is created using the same settings, and likewise also an AutoCAD file. So this is how you publish your project, Archicad project, into a final folder where you have drawings and PDFs and images and stuff. So essentially we've looked at these 4 tabs, how to navigate between these 4 tabs, how they are different, and how to transfer things between them under show organizer, and it's pretty easy actually.